Assalamualaikum, my name is Ainfa binti Mamat and my matric number is S54922. In this video, my friend and I will elaborate one of the shipping operation. In the early 1960s, growing concern about the place of developing country in international trade led many countries to call for the convening of a full-fledged conference specifically devoted to tackling this problem and identifying appropriate international action. The first United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, or called as UNTAC, was held in Geneva in 1964. It is a United Nations body responsible for dealing with development issues, particularly international trade. It was established as an intergovernmental organization intended to promote the interests of developing states in world trade. UNTAC is primarily active in the sector of e-commerce as well as research and capacity building on the impact of information and communication technologies on development. The organization assists and advises government of developing and transition economy and on how to design and implement ICT policy and strategies. UNTAC hosts the United Nations Commission on Science and Technology for Development, which provide science and technology advice to the United Nations Economic and Social Council. It also chairs the United Nations Group on the Information Society, which serves as an inter-agency platform for 29 international agencies to increase collaboration in order to meet the World Summit on the Information Society goals. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next is benefit. UNTAC support developing countries to access the benefits of a globalized economy more fairly and effectively. UNTAC also help equip them to deal with the potential drawbacks of a greater economic integration. To do this, they provide analysis, consensus building, and technical assistance. This will help them to use trade, investment, finance, and technology as vehicle for inclusive, sustainable development. Next is service. Services are also critical for achieving the 2030 Sustainable Development Goal. Strengthening the domestic service sector by increasing its backward and forward linkage with the primary and secondary sectors, as well as its linkage with trade, can be an effective component of a comprehensive development strategy. For the developing countries, service trade is the new frontier for enhancing their participation in international trade and in turn realizing development gains. Moreover, as service trade demonstrated relative resilience in the latest financial and economic crisis, this creates additional incentive for countries to incorporate service trade into their national trade and growth strategies.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Thanks to group members for the explanation. I will continue about the state contracts of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNTAC. State contracts mean an agreement or contract with the states or any state agency or any public agency that will be one common mode of entry for foreign direct investment. To simply that, state contract of UNTAC mean an agreement or contracts among the members that to maximize the trade, investment, and development opportunities of developing countries. State contract of UNTAC, they had some issue that need to focus. Firstly, investment agreement protections. What on this issue, extension of investment agreements protections depends on the scope of the definitions of investment. The exclusion of certain states contract from their coverage and in how for dispute settlement provision of the agreements apply to the state contracts. Second issue is about the preservation of host country. The preservation of host country discretion in the negotiation, conclusion and regulation of state contracts can be based on inscribing the basic principle of good faith and periodic review into an international investment agreement. This will open the good of negotiation among the state contracts members. Thirdly, the duties of host country government. The duties towards private investor parties to state countries compensate for the more favorable position of the state by allowing for clause on stabilizations, choice of law, arbitration and the breach of contracts on the part of the host country government. Last but not least, the issue is the development of substantive regimes of the state contracts in international investment agreement is related to the commitment on the side of the government. This will commit the truly commitment among the state members.
Use of custom brokers. In many countries, the use of custom brokers is mandatory to facilitate the process of import, export, and transit, and to assist traders in ensuring compliance. However, practice shows that apart from the high cost of their service, custom brokers are often part of vested interest groups, presenting obstacles rather than facilitating trades. Key challenge. The major challenge is lack of an appropriate national regulatory and administrative frameworks that can facilitate the clearance of goods without the use of custom brokers. Next, in the absence of an electronic SW system, the trader may find the process of clearing goods particularly cumbersome without the assistance of custom brokers. The mindset of custom authorities can also be a key challenge. Over time, custom brokers have become part of the port ecosystem and custom staff may be more comfortable working with professional custom brokers. Another challenge may be the inability of governments to identify transparent and objective criteria for the licensing of custom brokers. Key factor for success: an enabling regulatory and administrative framework which encourage a mindset change among government authorities, especially custom officials, is a key factor which will determine successful implementation. However, the adoption of automated risk management, post-clearance audit and SW system will also contribute to success, fostering a transparent disclosure of information while at the same time allowing traders to manage procedural formalities.
For my part, strategies UNTAD Division on Globalization and Development Strategies. The division promotes economic policy and strategies at the all levels for sustained growth, inclusive and sustainable development, for employment and decent work for all, and poverty eradication developing countries, especially the least developed countries, including drought, North-South, and triangular cooperation. Second, ICT policy review and the national e-commerce strategy. The anti-ICT policy review program conduct national assessment development strategy and provide policy advice to countries requesting assistance in building, maintaining a dynamic and responsive ICT policy environment. In this context, it undertakes review, research, analysis, strategy development, and technical cooperation in the following areas. First, national ICT planning, the review, assessment, implementation of ICT master plan, strategy, policy, and program grids toward development of the information. The provide action oriented recommendation for policy improvement. Second, electronic e-commerce. The e-commerce landscape is complex, dynamic, multifaceted, and rapidly evolving. Developing countries therefore need to conduct a thorough examination of e-commerce dynamic in their country to identify the most effective leverage point into e-common system and formulate this into the national e-common strategy able to harness e-commerce.